You are tuning in to John Pierre and Mary's fun-loving, crazy, and honest podcast.
If it don't smell bad, it must be clean.
Unequally Yoked, where any and every topic, life,
marriage,
I'll go first because I have something to say.
Uh-oh.
Kids and entrepreneurship are up for discussion.
how does Mary, a pastor's daughter,
And John, a guy who rarely saw the inside of a church growing up, get together and stay together.
We all have roles.
what does life look like 10 plus years into marriage?
2 kids and trying to run a family business.
How do we keep this nest egg from cracking?
What you mean?
Listen in to Unequally Yoked as we dive in to give a man
Next. And woman's perspective
Somebody back me up on
Nobody.
to all the topics married folks are talking about.
this. Are you ready?
Let's do this, boo. Welcome back to season 2 of Unequally Yoked with John and Mary. Last week we had our first episode, and we're still trying to, get our groove going. So we're back for the second week in a row. And last week we talked about like everything that's been going on with us in the year and just kind of catching you guys up on all of our news. We shared our casting announcement last week. And so this week we're going to talk about, finding your new normal in the not norm.
Right.
Just everything that's been going on. And giving you guys, tips. Tips is like the big word for this season. Tips. And also sharing with you guys some of our, just being candid about how we had to deal with the news of the shutdown and what it was like for us and our family. And, like I said last week, we have worked with each other for 5 years now. So unlike some of you guys, who get to go off to work separately from your persons every day, we got to see each other every day. So
every day.
So no breaks. Sometimes, we don't ride in the same car every day.
There's breaks. Everyone has to have breaks. Breaks are very, very, very important. So we work them in there, but it's still important we do work together all the time. And it's been like that even before the whole COVID thing. So
right. And then also last episode, we talked about just regrouping since we're coming to the end of the year. How can we regroup? How can we press the reset button? And our homework assignment for last episode was, what are we looking forward to? What are we most looking forward to in 2021? So we were supposed to write those things down. Did you write your things down, John?
of course I did.
Where they at?
Not.
Okay.
But that we've been doing our we've been doing a lot of planning and stuff like that, and so just by virtue of having to do a lot of planning for the upcoming year, we kind of had a bunch of goals set out and stuff like that. So
you're gonna use our goals, not your own personal goals.
Yeah, my goals and our goals are pretty much the same thing.
No, I have my own personal goals.
Well, then you
like
tell us.
Like losing 15 pounds. But no, that's not what I'm looking most forward to in 2021. So I'll let you start, John. I'll just ask him a question. We'll just let him freestyle, I guess. What are you most looking forward to in 2021?
Well, number one, I'm looking forward to recording our next show. That's number one. That's a big deal. So that's fantastic. That's probably at the top of the list. Outside of that, I'm looking forward to growing our business, and then I'm looking forward to figuring out and having more family time too. So I think that's kind of like the big three, and juggling those three is going to be a big deal because it's going to be hard to do. But I think that's kind of my goals, and I'm looking forward to the success of those things.
You must be getting old because you actually added your family into your goals. That's amazing.
Petty
DJ horn. Oh, okay. Well, what I am most looking forward to in 2021 is not being in 2020 anymore. Just saying. And also just having no restrictions. And the world opening up and just being able to, just breathe a little bit. And I wrote travel, and I wrote just having a fresh start. And that's what I am most looking forward to in 2021.
Yeah. We had a fresh start. I think we all got a fresh start. It wasn't the fresh start we were looking forward to, but it was definitely a fresh start.
What do you mean?
Like, we got a whole new start. The whole world got a new start, this year. Like,
No, it wasn't a start. It was a screeching halt. Like it was like everyone stop what you're doing and do nothing. I mean,
because I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to.
huh?
He said, stop what you're doing. Because I'm about to ruin the image and style that you're used to. I look funny, but y'all making money, see? You still know the word? Oh,
What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh. I need somebody in the comments to give her the rest of that song. I'm not going to go into that, but I'm going to give her the rest of the song. Yeah, somebody give her the rest of that
First
song,
of all,
please.
you're not the rapper of this unit. I'm is. Okay, so I don't. Maybe it was the way. Maybe it was your cadence. I have no idea.
Somebody
Is it Vanilla Ice? That's what you sounded like.
Wrong.
Oh. Sound like Vanilla Ice to me. That's not my fault. You can't rap.
But a wise man once said, to every end, there is a new beginning.
Okay.
And the world asked us to stop what we were doing, which was the end of normal life as we saw it. And we had to figure out what the new beginning was going to be. And that's really what it was. It was a new world. It was a new chance. Although most of us didn't take it as a chance, most of us didn't take it as that opportunity when it first started. We were just trying to get back to what we were normally doing. But this whole year has provided plenty of opportunities and chances to reinvent, reinvigorate, change, stop, begin. It's been all the things. So I think it is. I think this year is it's like an opportunity for us to see whenever things that are not in our control make us stop and make us change. How do we handle it? How do we make something out of whatever we were given?
Well, let's just jump right into it because he's already there. So people want to know. We received some questions on just like, and people that follow us on social media know kind of what we were doing.
Yeah.
But when we got that news, it was March 13th, which was the day before our 11th wedding anniversary.
11 years.
And I mean, we had everything planned out. We had the whole weekend planned out. Children were going to be set. Like, that's a big deal. When your children got somewhere to go and we can have a staycation.
It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty amazing. So, yeah, they were like, you got to pull your kids out of school. They're shutting everything down. So,
Yep.
What was your first reaction to that?
Like, it sucks. That was my reaction. Like, what is this? This is terrible.
On a Friday, too?
Yeah.
Like, if it happened on a Wednesday. And I think that Wednesday, that's when people were already starting to talk about it. Like, but we never even know. We don't ever know what's going on, by the way. Like, a hurricane could come, it could be right there down the street, and we wouldn't know. We would just be like, I'll be out there getting water for my plants, So we didn't understand I don't think I understood the
significance.
The significance, the urgency. Like, I just didn't know what was going on because we don't have cable, we don't watch news, which is no excuse because we have cell phones. But that kind of stuff don't come across my feeds. Okay, I'm looking at pretty things all day. I'm looking at art and plants and pretty clothes. So I have no idea. The algorithm it just feeds me all the things that I love.
The algorithm.
So it's not gonna tell me about a coronavirus.
It is not.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and at that time, I mean, but it wasn't. At that point, I think we felt like the world was making a bigger deal of it than what it was at that moment, and we were wrong. I think most of us were wrong about that. But I kind of was like, once it set in that we were gonna have our kids out of school, everything's gonna start shutting down. It was like, well, then I mean, we got to figure it out because there's really not. Like, we can't change it. It's not like that we're gonna go find a school that will take our kids. They were all shut down. So we just had to figure out what was gonna be the next thing, and it was hard that first probably month of having to adjust to having the kids at the house and still trying to get work done. The cool thing is that shortly after that, the work kind of stopped anyway. So there really wasn't a lot of work to do because everyone was going through the same thing we were going through. So what I did like about that time for us specifically was just the opportunity it gave us to really hang out as a family because we did a lot more. We got to hang out together. We found things to do. We went to the park. Like, we did a lot of things just to kind of.
We got creative with the time. That's why when you said that first month was rough, it went rough for me. I thought it happened. The shutdown of it really happened for me at a good time because we had just finished all these big projects, and it was a welcome break for me to not have to get up and put on a show. Like, I had my hair wrapped up and let it grow, and I was cooking, and I think everybody was doing it like that first month. It's like you can catch up on all your shows, you can hang
right.
out. We built things in the backyard. Like, we were able to do the things that we've been wanting to do. I know that I've been wanting to do. And like you said, just finding ways to adapt to that. I mean, it definitely at times felt like deja vu or like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
Every day, and trying to find ways to keep at that time 4-year-old and 2-year-old entertained.
Golly, it seems like so long ago.
I know, but
Jeez.
now they're 5 and 3 because they're midsummer. They're like summer babies.
Mm-hmm.
So trying to keep them entertained, and because they're not like, we're still their entertainment. Like, we still kind of got to shuck and jive for them a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just give them something and they're going to do it on their own. Mm-hmm. We have to be active, participants in their activity. So I had to join a lot of mom groups. Mm-hmm. And on Instagram, I started following a lot of the toddler and just the sensories and learning about just doing. I mean, I do DIYs anyways. Yeah. So that was kind of fun to make those things and create things that you could use that you already have in your house. It's like little science.
Yeah, projects. I remember that. Yeah, you would do a lot of research and try to figure out what can we do with the things that we have here at the house to keep the kids entertained.
Ziploc bags. Yeah. And,
you did the whole box thing with the little nuts, bolts, and screws and all that kind of stuff.
Because I know we all were still buying things, so boxes are not in shortage. I tell you that much.
Yeah, plenty of boxes.
Yeah, plenty of boxes.
Yeah, so you did a lot of DIY stuff, and that was great. And then you've even taken it, as time has gone on, we've kind of got back into more of a normal for us. You're still taking that time to create DIYs for the kids and stuff like that. So that was one of the things that's probably been a plus, is that we have been more creative, and you've been a lot more detailed oriented about how to keep the kids entertained and stuff like that. So
I tell you what, food coloring is your friend.
Because that was the food coloring thing too.
It's the least expensive, and I was buying it and I still have some by the boxes. Now I just have to keep it. And who knew that just putting a little drops of different colors in pails and cups. And I mean, Grayson was outside for hours. Yeah. Like, this little boy got in the bucket, set like it was a pool. Got
multiple times
in the bucket, and he just really loved mixing all the colors. And it was really cool to see them
have fun.
Well, the kids, they became an example for me, because there was a lot of anxiety around, because people didn't know what was going on. We didn't know when we were going to go back to work. We didn't know. We just didn't know we didn't know. And that brings on a lot of anxiety, right? But the children, because we had Easter during the quarantine where you dressed up as the Easter Bunny.
I totally forgot about that.
He had to put on the Easter Bunny costume.
I think I was probably the best Easter Bunny in living memory.
But they were like, it's Dad. And I'm like, no, it's Dad's friend. They're like, but where's Dad?
That's right. Harper was like, Dad, that's you. That's you. You could.
But it was really great. They definitely were the calm for me in the storm, because they were just they just went with the flow. They really did. I mean, we woke up and I think the first 2 weeks you kind of sleep in. You're like, yeah, we don't have to have an alarm clock. We don't have to have this. But it really does help to have some sort of schedule and routine. And I was like, okay, now we have to do it. We have to go back to that, because my kids, they like me. They'll stay in their pajamas all day. No judging. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You get a DJ horn for that.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think that's appropriate, but okay. I mean, but then I was able to put together a schedule where, because let me tell you, they were begging for food every 5 minutes, and I was hey man, y'all can't be hungry. Like, there's no way you're hungry. You just had a snack. So I had to put together an entire schedule where they did dance, they did yoga.
We did that.
There were
YouTube was a big friend.
Yeah, YouTube
Yep.
and Instagram Live. Like Debbie Allen was doing a lot, and I
Yep.
think she still is doing a lot of the dancing for the young kids. And even I jumped in there, and like your gym, we did some workouts live.
I did yoga stuff. I did workouts online. I mean, there's a lot of, really, we did find out how much people, which I thought was really cool. So many people out there in the world were trying to figure out how to contribute to the world through the tools that we had.
Stay connected.
Yeah. And so I thought that was really, again, I'm one of those guys that kind of looks at things, the cup is always half full for me. And so I just thought it was really cool that there were so many people out there trying to connect the world with the things that they're good at, and people were taking advantage of it. We had like the versus stuff, which is really cool.
Man.
There's just a lot of ways that people found a
D-Nice.
way. Yeah, D-Nice, the DJing at nighttime.
Oh my gosh.
Not him, but a lot of DJs, right? There's a lot of DJs that were doing that
he was
stuff.
the main. I mean, who else did you watch then, John, other than D-Nice?
Oh yeah, like the Houston DJs, like DJ Aggravated, GT.
Oh yeah, we did watch GT.
Yeah,
GT did a really good New Orleans bounce. Wah, 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 wah.
So I just thought that was a really cool thing, and that's why I always say it's like a new beginning, right? Like every end to what you think is the end also provides an opportunity to create something new. And so I think that's something that we've been trying to do as well, is figure out how can we create something new, how can we take advantage of what we've been given.
Well, and in this time, a lot of people, including ourselves, you realize that as humans, and not just humans, any species, and because we were watching a lot of animal
National
stuff.
Geographic.
Yeah, we watched that anyway because of him. And I really learned that as species, we all have to have a purpose. Like, we all have to wake up every morning and feel like, okay, what am I doing today? I mean, we were playing this game, which is funny. It's called the Pooh game. I said Pooh. And it's like a matching cards game with the kids. He remembers.
Oh yeah, I remember
nothing
that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
About this quarantine.
I didn't remember it as the Pooh game.
It's called the Pooh game. Literally, we
is.
can put it up and we'll show. It's literally called the Pooh game, and it's like shows all the different animals. And for some reason, the kids love the dung beetle because the dung beetle.
You're laughing.
Cleans up all the poo. And like,
that's exactly what they
this
do.
is an important job, to wake up every day and say, my purpose in life as a dung beetle is to get rid of the world's earth.
It was actually one of my favorite beetles when I was growing up. Yeah.
But I don't know how I'm going to segue this back.
I don't know either. I'm just going to let you just ride this one out.
I'm just saying, I just think it's cool that big or small, that we all wake up and we want to have a reason for being.
Yeah.
That's how we're human beings. But, that's what I'm saying. I brought it back around a little bit.
So, I mean, yes, even all the world, it is very important to have purpose. I think that's what you're trying to get to.
That's what I said.
The dung beetle has purpose.
Everybody has purpose.
Everything has purpose.
Doing the work.
Yes, we are. And that's true. So you got to find your purpose. So
what about those tough moments? Were there any tough moments, since you kind of seem like John doesn't remember anything? But were there any tough moments that we had as a family or even as a couple during that time, and how did we get past it? And even for those people who are going through tough times right now with their significant others, like being kind of shut in and having to share the space, let's talk about what are the things that we do to kind of, I don't want to say get out of each other's way, but just not step on each other's toes.
Oh, well, I mean, were there a lot of those moments? There were a lot of those moments. I think I don't think those moments ever go away. I think we always have our times, right? Like whenever it's like things are not vibing, things are not clicking. And so I think that the one thing that we did is we tried to give each other space. I think, and whenever you don't have the opportunity to give a lot of space, then, unfortunately or fortunately, either way you look at it, our phones were escape. We could go off and just kind of do our own thing, or we could, we luckily had 2 TVs in the house, so we'd take our time and go to different spaces in the room. And so, but in the end, what it all comes down to is just trying to figure out and communicate and saying, hey, who was wrong? I'm sorry. I think it's really important that you try to communicate, and communication is such a vague word. I really don't like the word.
Because everybody always say, "Oh, what's your key to da da da," and it's usually communication. But but it goes deeper than the communication.
Yeah,
like
I think
listening, respecting each other's
it's
space.
humbling. Yeah, I think it's really about you being humble and being having humility and being able to accept criticism, being able to accept being in the wrong. I think it's like you really have to have a sense of self and let that guide the fact that the whole point of being in a relationship is you're in something bigger than yourself. Mm-hmm. So whenever you allow yourself to be, headstrong, which we both have tendencies to do that. I know I'm stubborn, right? And so like it's really important that you try to figure out how to be put your relationship and your family above yourself in the moments whenever you feel like you're right, or you think you're right and you think the other person's wrong. It really is about having humility, and I think that's kind of the part of the communication that doesn't get talked about, is how important it is to not be focused on being right, and more important about just figuring out how to be a unit and a team and that kind of a thing, and that's hard.
That's working towards the same goal.
Yeah.
And I would just add to that for those of you who are having to share your workspace and be at home all the time with your spouse, I would just say give each other grace. Like, yes, you're married to one another, but that doesn't mean that you have to be together all the time. Find a space in your home. Like we built our outdoor area, which has been almost like our new getaway, like our own sanctuary. And yet there's spaces for both of us. There's a covered space for John where he doesn't be in the sun, and there's an uncovered
Can't
space.
do the sun.
For me, even though I haven't even really been over there because I love the fan.
That's right.
Ooh, and keeping the mosquitoes away.
I'm telling you.
So find your space in your home and be okay with not being together all the time. Like, it's totally okay, because remember, you would spend almost 8 to 12 hours apart, in
normal life.
Yeah. So it's okay to say, hey, I'm going to go and work over here and I'll meet you for lunch. And it's just like, okay, they know you're setting the expectations of, okay, they know we don't have to be all up on each other all the time. We can just go and do our thing and then come back for lunch. And it just relieves the tension. Everybody knows what to expect and everybody's on the same page. And then, I can't speak to those individuals who are not only in the same space with their spouse, but they're also doing virtual learning for their kids.
Oh man, that's what's going on. Yeah, that's tough.
If there are those of you who are going through that, please put in the comments some of the things that you guys are doing to pretty much stay sane in that. Share it with everyone else, because our kids, we're very, very fortunate that our kids' school is open and they get to go to school.
Tell you what, it gives you a new appreciation for what it is to be a teacher.
Right? Yes, indeed.
Like, it's hard enough to raise your kids, then you got to teach them too.
Yes, indeed.
And there's plenty
of work for a living, to keep a roof on their head and clothes on their back and food in their stomach, like my mom would say.
You gotta, there's a lot of people who homeschool. Obviously, that's a huge
man. The homeschool parents.
It's tough.
Help out these new parents, because y'all have their thing going already. So it's not a new world for them, homeschoolers. So share the love, share the wealth, and share your tips in our comments.
I think we gotta. That's a big deal. It's really hard. It's hard, man. It's hard out there. It's hard out there. Is that what they say? It's hard.
Hard out there for a pimp is what they say.
Well, we can cut out the pimp part. It could just be hard.
Isn't that one of your hard out there for a pimp? Or was that?
I think that's a
from
movie.
Hustle and
I
Flow?
think that's a movie.
That's an Oscar-winning song, I actually believe. It is.
Don't try to don't try to reclaim your
knowledge
of rap knowledge. Stop it.
And I'm back. Come back on top. We're going to close with that, but we have to give the homework assignment for this week. And that homework assignment is we want you guys to come back next week. I'm reading the wrong thing.
There we go.
The
That's
homework
important.
assignment is to start working on the projects that you've always wanted to, because that's something that we did ourselves. Our house, y'all, we call ourselves the beautician, the hairstylist that don't ever have a hair comb. We're the people who go out and make people's homes beautiful, yet ours is literally falling apart.
Well, it's not falling apart. It's not falling apart, but it definitely needs some work.
Falling apart.
It needs some work, and we have not done it. So, but I think we need to do it. But yeah, I think it is important. You know, you do have to find your own little like something for yourself, and so it doesn't have to be something extravagant. Like we did this, redid this office. It's not.
We redid the office. We built a pergola. We put in a stock tank pool. I got all we built a, what do you call that for my plants? Using the trellis. Like we literally was snatching things off the fence. We weren't going to go to Home Depot like everybody else was, because Home Depot was litty.
Yeah.
We just used what was because when we used the crates, we used when we got our stock tank pool, there were all this wood. And then we reused the wood from building our pergola, and we were able to, build things from that. So if there are things that, you guys have always wanted to do, and you're like, I really wanted to, redo my kitchen, or I've been wanting to find that space for myself and have a sanctuary, or in my master bathroom or my living room. Like, this is the time to do it while you're at home and you're thinking about it. You make those Pinterest boards and bring your vision to life.
Yeah, I was going to add to that, like, because a lot of those things that we're talking about, like kitchens and bathrooms, those require Home Depot runs. Those require bringing things. I was going to talk about like how our office was. Everything you see in here that we did, minus the paint, this stuff was from our garage, like the wine. These
came from our neighbor.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's even better. Yeah, from our neighbor. So from the neighbor.
He remembers
for
nothing.
The plywood. You know what I mean? So like, there's a lot of projects you can do around your house that don't require going to Home Depot or buying something. You can usually with your neighbors, which is a great opportunity to get in your community and figure out things how you can make something nice for yourself in your house.
Get out and get to know your neighbors.
Yeah.
Socially distant with your mask. I don't know. Whatever you do.
All that.
But what I'm saying is the homework assignment was there are people out there who, have a list of things that they want to do. They're sitting in their homes and they're like, man, I wish I could do this and I wish I could do that. So write those things down, because next week we're going to talk about actually, let me turn the page. Oh, yes. Next week, we're actually bringing in some more design experts, and we're going to be giving you guys tips on the things cost-effective ways to update your space.
Yeah.
So we're going to have Elizabeth Cole, the employees from Elizabeth Cole here, and they're going to be sharing some of their furnishings and their knickknacks.
You think I'll learn something? Yeah, I think that'd be cool. You think I'll learn anything? Because I don't know anything about decor. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm sure that you will learn something, and other people will as well. And the main thing I would like, not to set the expectation or the goal, is that I just want people to know that it's not that expensive, and that there are ways to really make your money stretch. So we'll chat with them next week.
That'll be cool.
So go ahead and take the time to write down your wish list, whether it's pillows or curtains, rugs, whatever it is, and we're going to talk about it next week.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about that one. It's always good to have guests.
Always good to have guests.
You want to give them your social media tags before we get out of here?
Follow me, guys, on Mary TJP on Instagram and Facebook.
And I am John Pierre TJP on Instagram and Facebook, I think. So come follow us. We're excited. Next week's going to be fun.
Fun. Bye, y'all.
Bye. Dun, 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 dun. Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and style.
Are you going to tell me what it was?
I look funny, but y'all making money, see? Still one hope you're ready for me. I got around.
Kid in town?